Okay, Khash Saghafi here, Liberty Home Mortgage Course. It takes three things to qualify for a home loan. It takes credit, income, and money, okay? This is step one of three, credit. So a lot of people I'm doing loans for, I send these videos to just to educate you and help you, because the truth is, anxiety and you're nervous and things like that, it's fear of the unknown. You do not know what to expect when you're buying a home. That's the reason for these videos. But before I go over exactly what they are, and we're gonna start with credit. So this video is on credit. Before I start, I wanna begin with this. Do me a favor, smash the like button, okay, on this video. Subscribe to my YouTube page so we can, grow this channel, and I appreciate the help. And of course, share it and comment, share it on your social media pages for your friends and family to see and other people to learn from it. And then of course, comment. Throw your comments down in the page. So as I'm explaining credit scoring and Credit Karma and different websites like that, throw your comments down there. I do respond to every single comment. So let's get this show on the road now, okay? The first step in qualifying to buy a home is credit. It doesn't matter what lender in the United States you go to. Notice I say in the United States, okay? Credit determines if you can even get a loan. Listen to what I'm telling you. Credit determines if you can even qualify for a loan. I do not care what your job is. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care about any of that stuff. Imagine three steps, okay? There's a pond of water, okay? And you want to get to the other side. Imagine three bricks in the water that you've got to step across to get to the other side without going into the water. That first brick, that is credit, okay? It's the first step. If you don't have the credit and you are missing that step, you ain't getting across, okay? Each step, and we're gonna go over the other two in the following video, so you're gonna wanna watch the next upcoming video because that's gonna be step two, which is over income. But we're on step one again, okay? Credit determines if you can even get a loan. Now this is super important, and I want you to take notes at home. I want you to write this stuff down. Credit is broken into two parts, okay? The credit score and the credit history. The credit score is the physical number. And everybody out there, especially looking for a home, people especially today have very good ideas of what their credit scores are, okay? Whether you get it from Credit Karma, Experian.com, Equifax.com, TransUnion.com, you get it from your local bank, you're on Score Watch, Credit Watch, 9,000 other different credit things that give you the score, quote unquote, so you have an understanding of what the number is. Let's talk about the credit score. So again, step one of qualifying for a loan is credit. You want to write this down. Credit determines if you can even get a loan. Credit is broken down into the credit score and the credit history. Let's begin with the credit score. The score is the actual number that we get when we, quote unquote, pull your credit. The score can go anywhere from 300 to 850. The higher, the better, okay? There's 1,000 different formulas. I have some very good friends who are experts, truly experts at credit. My one friend owns a credit repair company, credit repair resources. I mean, they're credit experts. So I'm sure some of the things I go over here, he might say, oh my God, Hesh, you should have gone this way instead of that way, or whatever it is, okay? When it comes to the score, the lowest credit score I've ever seen in 23 years of doing this was February of 2002. I'll never forget this one. The person had a 413 credit score, 413. I've never seen a lower score than 413. If somebody watching this video has seen lower, post it. I'd love to hear about it. Not if it's on Credit Karma either. I want to hear mortgage lenders posting, Hesh, I had this score here. Mine was the one that I had on that loan was a 413 credit score. And by the way, that was a surgeon, a doctor, a medical doctor who was a surgeon with a 413 score. That was the lowest I ever saw. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, was the highest score I've ever seen on one single bureau. It was 840. I've never seen, before that, it was 832. So yesterday, actually, I pulled my highest score in 23 years of doing this. I saw in one of the bureaus, it was an 840. So the scores range, okay? They range. Generally speaking, to get a mortgage loan, generally, you want that score to be up into the mid sixes, give or take a little bit. Now, don't stop watching me if you're sitting here at a 5.9 saying, oh my God, I can't, this isn't gonna work. It'll work. I'm gonna give you examples of how people with a 515 credit score, a 502 credit score, how those people got loans. But you have to follow along with these videos, and you've got to take some notes for me, okay? Back to the score, okay? The score is one aspect of credit. Now there's 3 credit bureaus in the United States. There's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Those are the 3 credit bureaus. Visit their websites, www.experian.com, www.equifax.com, www.transunion.com. Go to their websites. All of the websites are incredible. They have credit education centers on there where you learn about credit. Commit 5 minutes once a week. I mean, listen to me for God's sakes, okay? 5 minutes once a week just to research what credit's about. And I promise you, after a month or 2 or 3, you'll be a credit expert yourself, okay? This stuff is not brain surgery, okay? There's 3 credit bureaus in the United States. In the mortgage industry, we pull all 3 credit bureaus. Each one generates a score, okay? Now the scores are never identical, typically never identical. Sometimes the scores are the same, but next to never, okay? Now why do people have different scores? There's 2 big reasons. One is each bureau, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, each has a little bit of a different formula to arrive at the number, okay? Also, not all creditors and not all trade lines report to all 3 credit bureaus. So not all 3 bureaus see the same picture, okay? So you're gonna generate typically 3 different scores. In the mortgage industry, we pull all 3 and we take the median score, the middle number of the 3, okay? I'm sure we could throw this up on the screen while I'm talking, but let's just pretend I pulled your 3 credit bureaus, and let's pretend the credit scores were 702, 650, 670, okay? 702, 650, 670. If I pulled that, I would say to you, your credit score is 670. When a loan officer speaks to a borrower, typically they speak in the language of, this is your middle score. Now the truth is, you have 3 scores, 702, 650, 670. You have 3, okay? We don't use the high, we don't use the low, we don't average them all together. Fannie Mae had some changes recently, but I'm gonna stay away from that for right now because we're talking about credit, credit scoring for just the actual purposes of the number. 3 scores, we don't take the high, we don't take the low, we don't average it, we take the middle number of the 3. The question is what is your middle number? You could be sitting at 790, 410, and 690. Your middle score is 690. It's the middle score of the 3. A problem, for example, with Credit Karma gives you 2 credit scores. Now the truth is, those scores are not accurate, okay? They are not accurate. And when you're sitting here watching me saying, Khash, is Credit Karma high or is Credit Karma low? It's all over the place, okay? But let me give you this analogy here. I want you to understand this. I want to educate you. I want to teach you this, okay? I'm the king of analogies, okay? Ultimately, it's like going to order a pizza. Imagine that a space alien from Mars flies in and lands today on the Earth here, okay? In Cleveland, Ohio, the rock and roll capital of the world, right? Speaking of music, by the way, I can't help but throw a shout out to John Denver. Best concert. See, I wore my John Denver shirt for this video, for these videos actually, because I just love the guy's music. I think he's the man. It's the best concert I've ever been to was John Denver. And plus, when you're buying a home, there's so much stress. We need some nice, soothing, good old-fashioned, down-home country, bluegrass music in there going. So that's why I'm wearing John Denver shirt. I was thinking about Metallica for today, but I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not gonna wear Metallica for this topic, okay? But ultimately, let's pretend the space alien lands from Mars, okay? And they say to you or me, I wanna order a pizza. And I wanna order a pepperoni pizza. That's what I want, pepperoni pizza. And you say, go to Domino's, Little Caesars, and Papa John's, okay? And the space alien goes to all 3 places. He comes back to you later and says it was the weirdest thing. I ordered a pepperoni pizza from each of those 3 places, and it tasted completely different. Now, how did it taste completely different if I ordered the same thing? Now he's talking to you, the Earthling. You, the Earthling, are gonna sit here and say, well, it's different places. You know, Papa John's has a different set of ingredients than Little Caesars does, so why would you have expected it to be the same? And the space alien's gonna say, because I told them a pepperoni pizza. What the space alien doesn't realize is the words pepperoni pizza, even though it's the same term at all three pizza places, the formula used to arrive at the product, the end product, is different, okay? This is why Credit Karma doesn't give you the same score as I get. This is why when you go to transunion.com directly and you say, Khash, but I pulled my TransUnion directly from TransUnion and it's different than yours, okay? And you're looking at me like I'm a nut, okay? No, ultimately, the agencies house the data. They house data, okay? When you then request your score, it pulls that data through their formula, which is different than what my industry uses. Now, if you come to me and you go to 10 different lenders, we're all gonna have the same score, okay? But when you go to Credit Karma, Score Watch, Credit Watch, your Capital One card gives you a score. None of those are gonna match a mortgage lender, okay? So this is the credit score. It's so important for everyone to understand this. The score by itself does not guarantee a loan, okay? The score by itself does not guarantee a loan. The three parts that it takes to qualify for a loan: credit, income, and money. And I know that we're gonna put those up on the board as I keep repeating some of this stuff, but it's important, it's repetition. You gotta get this into your heads, okay? You wanna write notes down on this stuff. On the credit side, credit is broken up into two parts: credit score, credit history, okay? The reason it's important to identify that it's not just the score is because let's talk credit history. Your credit history is how well you paid your bills. What types of accounts do you have? What's sitting on your credit that's sitting there? I'll give you an example. Let's just say that you had a bankruptcy a day ago. It's a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. To go through any type of mortgage loan, VA, FHA, USDA conventional, you could not have had a Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharged one day ago. Now, I guess we could talk about exceptions, but I'm not gonna talk about exceptions. You cannot have had a Chapter 7 discharge one day ago. Period, end of story, that's it, okay? You might have a 700 credit score. That number is incredible. It's incredible. I told you earlier in this video, 640 is generally where you wanna be at. Notice my words, generally where you wanna be, generally. It's not an absolute, okay? Because ultimately you might have the score, 690, but if you're missing, if your credit history doesn't check out, and the credit history is another important aspect of credit, you're eliminated. Now at the same time, you might be sitting on, I have a customer right now sitting on a 515. You might be sitting on a 515 credit score and say, I can't get a loan. This is where the other factors come into play, okay? So when it comes to credit, this is step one of qualifying for a loan. Don't just focus on your credit score. Don't just focus on your credit history. It's a combination in this category for this first step. So as I wind this video down, we're gonna move into my next video, which is buying a home, step 2 of 3. We move from credit into income. Income is step 2 of buying a home of 3 steps. So you'll wanna pay attention to that video. Take your notes from this one. Just to re-summarize one last time. When it comes to credit, it takes 3 things to qualify for a mortgage: credit, income, money. Credit is step 1. Credit determines if you can even get a loan. Credit is broken down into a credit score and credit history. Credit scores go anywhere from 300 to 850, the higher the better. Generally, to get a mortgage, you'd like to be generally around the mid 600s, give or take a little bit, okay? But we also have to look at your credit history because the score by itself doesn't automatically give you the loan. There's different websites you can go to. I recommend Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, or myfico.com. Even websites such as Credit Karma. People ask me a lot, is Credit Karma good? Is Credit Karma bad? If your alternative is nothing, Credit Karma is incredible, okay? It's great just to be monitoring it. But if you're trying to look for accuracy, Credit Karma is not the best place to go. Nonetheless, this is the step of credit. I want you to share this on your page. I want you to comment and ask your questions also. And do me a favor, please, subscribe to this page. If you like the information I'm giving, I have hundreds of other videos that can guide you through not only the home buying process, I go over building businesses and success and a lot of other things. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share, and make sure you come on to the next video, step 2 of qualifying for a mortgage loan.